I have no desire to speak to you. I have no desire to speak.
Sorry, but you're too late to record. And why are you
Kipuna na bonsha. Kavadumpa kupaliaya.
Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ay thaudonga. Tulpada bonk molya gando. Tonghay tuam jiji yumalith pa ang yinkotu. Tulpada bonk walya gando de nago chuchut. Kachi chu ay thaudonga. Yumalith ka inkotun. Chilo mulra de nebobo. Munko kun biskang. Bamulara. Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ay thaudonga. Tulpada bonk molya gando da nago chuchut. Moga shampungpa. Bolawan na chikni. Pamul nislik mo po da nawanga kun bist mulira best. Tonghay tuam jiji yumalith pa ang yinkotu. Tolbada bunk walya gando de nago chuchut. Kachi chu ay thaudonga. Yumalith ka yinkotun. Chilo mulra de nebobo. Munko kun biskang. Bamulara. Karatumpa kun palyiya mokapaata. Nanay kachu. Yinkin kuno bamulirachi kun. Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ay thaudonga. Tulpada bonk molya. Yinkin kuno bamulir. Tonghay tuam jiji yumalith pa ang yinkotu. Tulbada bunk walya gando de nago chuchut. Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ay thaudonga. Tulpada bonk molya gando da nago chuchut. Moga shampungpa. Bolawan na chikni. Pamulnis. Tonghay tuam jiji yumalith pa ang yinkotu. Tulpada bunk walya gando da nago chuchut. Kachi chu ay thaudonga. Yumalith ka yinkotun. Chilo mulera de bobo. Unko kumbiskan. Bamulara.
Mucho shakapaga, ye ki kon no ba muladra ki chichon.
Racing here is pretty well regulated. I hear that other tracks are falling under HUD control.
What do you want? I don't waste time with fans. So if this is about an autoprint, forget it. You can buy one when I get more made up. Wait a minute. You're no fan. You're the racer that killed my time. Why should I talk to you? What? Are you threatening me? On Manaan? You know how foolish that is, right? That's better. Hurry up. and tell me what you want. Of course you do. Everyone wants time with the fabulous Cassandra Mateo. There just isn't enough of me to go around. 2 years. But that's more than enough time to know the secrets behind the sport. It's all about the image you portray. Hukta is the thug. People like him because he's mean. I'm the pretty one that people want to take home. Even if we don't win, we're easy to remember. That keeps the fans coming back. So race organizers want us at their tracks. Local racers don't bring in off-world crowds. They need us. At least they would if there was still a functioning circuit. Hukta Jax is the only other professional here besides me. He got where he is by making sure everyone knows he's... I don't know any of the other racers. I guess there's Quidel, but... You need money to compete. Maybe he's got some skills, but... Yes. Don't hurry back. Don't expect a walk. Don't hurry.
Mokau dangya foki. Chachiska do punta kakaspaka. Banno oto.
my way. You dare mock me? If it wasn't...
Good race, Sector Champion. I guess you'll be off to the big tracks once the circuit is back up.
You Republic sicken me. We'll do the galaxy a favor by waiting you out.
Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ay thaudonga. Tulpada bonk molya gando danago chuchut. Moga shampungpa. Bulawan. Tong ay tuam jiji yumalith pa ang yingkotu. Tulpada bunk walyaga. Chibedwana ni bobo. Tonk nabung shanun yang. Tonk patogas magdelia. Doni pudu.
Yeah, what do you want? The war we had with the Republic was supposed to be the most glorious battle in our history. But it was a very costly one. I guess we didn't think of how much we could lose in it. There weren't many of us after that last battle. Mandalore himself was killed at the hands of the Jedi Revan. The best of us could not defeat him. After that last battle, those of us that survived were stripped of our weapons, our armor, and our basilisks. Revan's forces destroyed them while we were forced to watch. Those who hadn't fled earlier were left with nothing to call their own. No weapons, no armor, only the honor of having fought in the battle we just lost. For many, this was not enough. While the rest of us were sent into exile on the Outer Rim, they tried to relive the old days, raiding worlds. They're nothing more than bandits now. Yeah, I found word on Taris. And forcing for Davik was not stimulating. The gangs on Taris and Davik's rivals were trash. They give no thrill in battle, no honor or glory in defeating them. It was like stepping on bugs. I sought worthy challenges, but the best that Taris could offer were nothing to me. But I think now, with you, I may finally find opponents worth fighting. Maybe later I'll tell you more about what it was like to work for Davik. For now, though, we should get on with our lives. Is there something else you want to know? Your choice.
Statement. Statement. Answer. I believe I have been damaged several times in the past, Master. Answer. I have safeguards and... Answer. The deeper conjecture... As...
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like? After my father died, my mother was left to support me alone. A single non-human woman, living in one of the worst, most violent slums on Terrace. It was not easy for her. When my father was killed, it seemed that something in her began to die as well. She worked as hard as she was able. But over time, she began to waste away. I later learned that she was unable to get enough money to feed both of us, and had to start borrowing from the exchange, a band of cutthroats and smugglers. But even that was not enough. She hid what she was doing from me. She gave most of her food to me so that I would be strong, but she herself was suffering deeply from it. In the end, she could go on no longer, and collapsed at the cantina where she worked one day. She never recovered. There was nothing really that I could do for her. She left me no money, and no doctor would see her without being paid first. I sat by her bed for days as she lay there dying. I never want that to happen to someone I care about ever again. But there was still the money she had borrowed. She had never paid it back and made no provisions for her death. You must understand. The exchange is brutal. They care nothing for the life of a sentient being. They are the major suppliers of slaves on Terrace. They thought it would be appropriate that, with my mother owing them money, the debt should be passed on to me. And with no way to pay, they took me by force. You have no idea what it is like to be bound like a beast and treated as such. It was the worst time of my life. They treated me like livestock. They were waiting for a buyer to give them some credit for me when the Jedi came to fight the Mandalorians. The Jedi could not abide by what they saw there, and drove the exchange from the face of the world, freeing those of us imprisoned there. But the Jedi soon left to fight their war, and I was left with a dream. I swore that I would become a Jedi. As soon as I had enough money to do it, I bought passage on a freighter headed for Dantooine, and we both know what has happened since then. I am grateful to you for having given me the opportunity to fulfill my dream, rather than become what I hated. Someday, I may make it up to you, but for now, let us keep on the task at hand.
Got something on your mind, dude? Innocent. I don't know what to make of it, to tell the truth. Do you think justice has been done? But that has little to do with the law, doesn't it? A sad state of affairs, that. Too bad, really. Sunry was a good man once. I don't want to talk about this anymore. My jaw aches. Got something on your... No, I never did I? Elusive? Me elusive? Obviously, you've never tried to grab a Twi'lek dancing girl after drinking too much Onderan Willick juice. At any rate, I already told you why I wanted to leave. I'd seen everything I wanted to on Kashyyyk. Time to go. Time to move on. To bed! I'm old and tired, you know. How many kilometer-high trees can you find an interest in before you figure you've had enough? I'd bet you can't be bothered to stay in one room for more than 15 minutes. And then there's all the critters in the Shadowlands. I'm just happy to be back in space, doing something new. Is that too much to ask? So I could. Well, not having a ship does tend to put a damper on that kind of idea, however. I'll admit, for all its flaws, Kashyyyk was home enough. But when you came along and I saw the destiny you had before you, I couldn't help but be intrigued. Of course not. Weren't you listening last time? I can see that you have a destiny before you, but the details are far from clear. In fact, everything about you that I can see is odd. Slightly off, as if my eyes are trying to trick me. Something is very dark about you. But, I'm sure you don't need to hear my ruminations. You've probably got enough nosy Jedi offering you one opinion after another to make you sick. Your future will come of its own accord, trust me. Sometimes navel-gazing at it doesn't get you anywhere. I wouldn't worry about it too much if I were you. You remind me a bit of Nomi. And that can't be all bad. Nomi Sunrider. She came late to the Force, just as you have, and became one of the greatest Jedi ever. Oh, fine lass. Whether you'll follow the same path remains to be seen. For one thing, we'll never get anywhere if you stand around chatting up old men all day. Nonsense. If I ever refused to help you when you asked, how confused can one person be anyway? One thing I will say is that this little escapade does remind me a bit of my adventuring days before the war. Those were exciting times. Or at least it would remind me of those times if we didn't stand around. What's keeping you? You're too young to be so talkative. Shoo!
chua penki. Tong ituama ji human act in ikat. Tong ituama act inko tune. Otong ituama ji act inko tune. Tong diskadosoki kopa bono nakachu labora na wiki nuli. Chiwi aita ka chongji.
Yes?
How may I be of assistance to you? What is it you would like to speak to me about? Of course. How can I help? Then I suggest we move on.
When you are ready to explore the Hrakert Rift, enter the Republic base. In the KOTOR packing room, there is a door leading to the Republic submarines. The sub will have a course to the Hrakert Scientific Research Facility charted in. It will take you to the Hrakert Rift. I wish you luck on your quest. Hopefully, a Jedi can succeed where so many others have failed.
How did you get in? Did they send another submersible? Quick, we have to get out of here. We have to get away. No! No, we have no time. We have to leave now. I managed to close the door after they killed everyone else, but I don't know how long it will hold. The Selkath, they went crazy. They started killing anything that moved. Someone must have triggered the defense systems too, because all the droids activated as well. I was one of the mercs the Republic sent down here to find out what happened. We came down and secured the first couple of rooms. There were bodies everywhere. And the Selkath came out, screaming and croaking their fishy little war cries. They swarmed out and over us. There was no way we could stop them. So we ran. But hardly any of us made it. I locked the door behind us, but the others had already left in the submersible. The sharks. The Ferox are out there, and worse. I heard an explosion shortly after the submersible left. They didn't make it. Just food for the sharks and the Selkath. Like us. Back to the surface, yes. No! There's something out there. It got the other submersible already. We can't leave until you do something. Blow up the entire station, maybe. That might distract whatever it is long enough for us to escape to the surface. But all the machinery and stuff is in the southern half, and that's been flooded. There might still be environmental suits around, but the Selkath might have laid their eggs in them. No! I locked the door so the Selkath won't get in. If you open it, we're all done for. If you go in there, you're dead. You're all dead. If you want to die, then go. You won't hear me mourning for you. I'll stay here and be safe until some sort of real rescue comes.
Your wish? Yes? Yes?
Sure.
Is somebody out there? Fishy, fishy, fishy! Come and eat me too! You can't get me, little fishy! Not in here! I'm safe behind my walls! Investigate? You're just like the others. Order for the Selkath. Walk and fish snacks. Trump, trump, trump. If you can run, you might be fast food. The Selkath was insane and started killing everybody. I locked myself in here. I'm safe in here. Nothing can happen in here. No fishy food for me. No, that's what the others said. Mercenaries like you. But that day, the Selkath ate them. Lunchy munchy. Only the ones left in the south part of the base might still be alive, where the KOTOR is. Few fishies there, but many, many, many fishies in between the water. No, only the one. Don't know. Go ask them. When the demon screamed, it shook every mind in the station. We fell to the ground but survived. Fishy, fishy. Bye-bye. Go look. Is somebody out there? Ha ha! That's what you think? Fishy think that too. These walls and door are 6 centimeters. No, 12 centimeters of durasteel. I'm invulnerable behind my walls. Nobody's getting in here. When the Selkath went in. No, only the one. Don't know when the. Bye-bye.
Your wish? Yes?
Yes?
How may I be of... What is it? I have told you my life story already. What more could you possibly want to know? Well, there is one thing. I did not want to mention it before, because I was unsure how you would react. You will see, perhaps. Do you remember when I told you of the Jedi who had come to my world to fight the Mandalorians? They were recruiting soldiers for their crusade against the Mandalores. Many people joined them. The main reason for that was their charismatic leader, the one whose troops freed me and let me dream of seeking out and joining the Jedi Order. I was hesitant to talk to you about this because, well... The Jedi had come to fight the Mandalores under the leadership of a powerful young Jedi, a Jedi named Revan. The Revan. The Jedi who turned to the dark side, became the Dark Lord of the Sith, and was defeated by Bastila and her strike team. I do not know what happened in the wars with the Mandalorians that turned Revan and Malak, or what they sought with these star maps. But the Jedi I knew was a paragon of the Order. I am sorry if this seems wrong to you, but to understand, you must realize that Revan was as great as a Jedi could be. Whatever turned Revan must be terrible indeed. I wonder if what we find at the end of our journey will turn us as well. This is meaningless speculation, I guess. I just wanted you to know what I held from you. But rest assured that I will not hold back. If our enemy is Malak, Revan's apprentice, or indeed, even if it was Revan, I will help you through all trouble. Such is the will of the Council, and my own.
was there. You're not Cellcath, I can see that much. Are you another rescue crew? I'm a merc the Republic hired a couple days ago to investigate. But all we found was a bunch of insane Cellcath killing everything that moves. All my companions are dead. The Cellcath swarmed over us. There were dozens of them. And they looked wrong, somehow. Like something had changed inside them. Insane or something. Oh, I'd have gone back to the surface long ago if this complex hadn't been overrun by all those crazy Cellcaths. There's no way for me to get to the submarine docking bay. I discovered a way to get to the bay and seal off the rest of the base. I just have to find the KOTOR harvester they built on the edge of the Hrakert rift. It's got an emergency override to open the doors to the submarine docking bay. And I could get in from the outside. I figured my only chance was to slap on an environment suit, head out onto the ocean floor, and check that harvester out for myself. Besides, it's gotta be safer out on the ocean floor than back in there with all those crazed Cellcath mutants running around looking for dinner. I'm not spending another minute in this facility. Not with those psychotic fish people all over the place. I'm heading out to the ocean floor right now. It leads to another complex of buildings. Going through them is the only way to reach the KOTOR harvester. We should probably stick together, but I won't wait around in here with the Cellcath. You can catch up with me if you want. Down the hall and through the doors on the right. I'll be waiting on the ocean floor where it's safe.
stand there. We have to keep moving. The water is filled with... Ah! Don't just stand there, we have to keep moving. The water is filled with... Ow! Ah!
No, you can't come in here. You'll let the Pharaxa and the Selkath in. No, stay out! Stay out! I won't let you open the door for those monsters to get in. I'll stop you. I'll suck all the pressure out of the chamber. That'll stop you.
Kill them! Kill them now!
60 seconds to complete depressurization. 54 seconds to complete depressurization. 48 seconds to complete.
No. The Pharaxa will...
No!
I'm sorry for what I did. I don't know what came over me. I just panicked when I heard someone outside the door. Please forgive me. I'm just so scared.
We're both just scared.
When the Selkath went crazy, I thought everyone else except me and Sammy went mad. We had a few people outside the station when it happened.
The Pharax and sharks just tore them apart. It was like they were frenzied.
The next thing we knew, our Selkath researchers started screaming and clawing at everything around them. My team was torn apart and eaten before my eyes. Sammy and me, I thought we were the only ones left. We heard the Selkath outside the doors every once in a while, and strange noises echoing through the base.
We thought everyone was dead or insane. I must have been hysterical. I don't know what I can say. I truly apologize for the horrible mistake I was making.
I'm Kono Nolan, and this is Sammy. We were scientists working here on the Hrakert Rift project.
We don't know. Not for sure.
The work teams were outside in the rift, near the vent. Then there was this rumbling, and my head felt like it was splitting open.
This monster rose up from the rift.
It was a Pharaxa shark, I think. Bigger than anything I'd ever seen before.
bigger than our submersibles.
It was like it was screaming inside my head.
Then all the Selkaths started screaming too, and they turned on us.
Well, maybe it was protecting the ruins by the rift.
It could have been. It might have a lair in the Hrakert rift near the KOTOR vent. That might explain a few things too. Like why it reacted so violently when our construction efforts got closer to the vent. And also, why it's so large. It must be feeding off the KOTOR. It would have to be ancient indeed for it to reach that size. But with KOTOR as a food source...
And all those other Phyraxan sharks? Those might be its offspring.
Which would be why they all swarmed when it called out to them. Children coming to protect their mother. The Phyraxan sharks have always been a serious problem. We had some blasters and projectile cannons to defend against them, but they still got some of our workers from time to time.
We were working on a soluble chemical compound that would drive them away. Something that smelled or tasted repulsive.
Oh, I think not. Even flawed like it is, it should be ideal for this situation.
No, it's not working right. You don't know what it'll do. The repellent we made was supposed to drive Phyraxan sharks away, but we never got very far in its development. The one we tested instead was violently toxic to them, rupturing their outer skin in seconds and preventing them from drawing oxygen from the water by clogging their intakes.
Which is exactly what we need in this situation. Something to kill that monster shark that destroyed our station.
But we don't know how else the chemical reacts. We only tried it in a controlled environment. In the open ocean, who knows what it could do? It could even affect the KOTOR.
We know exactly what it'll do. It'll kill the shark. That's what we designed it to do. You don't need to do anything else. We have a canister of the toxin here right now. We were working on it before the giant Phyraxan drove all the Selkath insane. All you need to do is insert it into the main KOTOR harvester and have it vented. Get away as soon as you can. We don't know how much worse it'll affect the giant Phyraxan shark.
Well, the monster seems to have been driven out by the machinery we installed at the edge of the rift. We've seen it out there on the cameras, bashing itself against the machines. I think if you could destroy the machinery we installed, the shark would calm down and retreat back into its lair inside the rift. You can reprogram the harvesting machines to overpressure their self-oxidizing fuel, so that the fuel tank canisters will rupture and the entire machine will destroy itself. The hydrolium gas we use is a gas at 1 to 3 million sangin, a liquid at about 4 million sangin, and a solid above that. When it's a liquid, it's very explosive. If you inject enough of the hydrolium gas into the tank, the pressure will be so great that it'll turn to liquid form and start a chain reaction inside the machine.
But we'll lose everything we've built here. All those years of work.
It's better than whatever your chemical will do to the water. Good. Destroying the machinery will be better in the long run. We can't risk damaging the environment or the KOTOR. You'll have to break into the computer on the harvesting machine and fiddle with the fuel injectors to get the tank pressure up to the point where the hydrolium will liquidize. Once the machinery is gone, the shark should leave.
That won't work and you know it. We have to vent the toxin from the harvesting machine. Once the shark is dead, we can get back to mining the KOTOR. You know what you have to do.
I just hope you make the right choice. We saw what you did out there on the cameras. Destroying the machinery was the right thing to do for everyone. That creature, the giant Phyraxan shark, the guardian of the Kolto or whatever it was, seems to have calmed down a lot. It may even be safe to go outside now, but we'll stay here and wait for the Republic rescue crew.
I saw what happened on the camera. How could you willfully destroy the I'll have you know that when we get back to... Now go back to the surface and get...
At last, my search is over. I was beginning to fear someone else had killed you and deprived me of the pleasure. You may have defeated the pathetic bounty that my master sent after you, but you are no match for me. I have studied at the foot of the Dark Lord himself. Your words mean nothing to me, unless you wish to beg for your life. No, then I shall try to make this both quick and painful.
You shall fall.
Yes?
I'm here.
What?
You've returned. I was beginning to fear that you too might have been lost. Did you find out what had happened down there at the facility? Something was down there? Living in the rift by the Kolto? It's horrible. The entire operation wasted by a disaster we could never in 1,000 years have foreseen. What has happened to the facility itself? Were there any survivors? Well, that's good to know. Good to know indeed. But what has happened to the facility? Was it damaged? No, that is terrible. That will set our work back years. It may even cost us the war. While I am glad that you were able to solve our problems, the cost may have ended up being much too high. But you have done your job and helped us in our time of need. And for that I thank you. Oh, and did you end up finding your star map? As you can see, by helping us, you helped yourself. Perhaps we can work together again in the future.
What the hell is your kind doing here? Bad enough I have to deal with all these other idiots, but now there's a stinking KOTOR on this world, too?
I have as much right to be here as you do, sir.
Ooh, big man. The Jedi shooting his mouth off from behind a lightsaber, or whatever you're carrying, hiding behind your pet KOTOR, and a woman at that. We should have exterminated all you KOTOR when we had the chance.
What? What do you know about my world?
I know enough that... Hey, wait a minute. You look familiar somehow.
What? You...
This doesn't concern you, Jedi trash. Now where could I have... No, he's dead, and she likely is too.
What are you talking about?
Maybe I was wrong. Still, I think a specimen like you would be a nice addition to my collection. So, what would it take, Jedi, for you to sell your pet here to me? Now, don't be so selfish. We both know KOTOR aren't real people anyway. The females make amusing pets, but the males should be put down like the animals they are. I remember one time on Taris.
What? What did you say? What did you do on Taris, you scum?
Put one of you down like the animals you are. So easy. Then I saw one of the females on the auction block. But those darn Jedi.
It was you.
What? Me? Oh, now I recognize where I've seen that face before. You were the little KOTOR I was going to purchase. But those Jedi came and stole my pet away from me. When I was fighting with the Mandalorians against the KOTOR, I developed an appreciation for these creatures. They make excellent servants if properly trained. You Jedi act all prim and proper, but inside you must feel the same way I do about the lesser, non-human species. The Sith at least let their feelings show on the outside.
My homeworld.
Come now. Will you let your pet go? I'm sure we can come up with a price we both think is fair.
And I will see you dead for what you have done to my people.
Hold on a second. Don't be hasty.
Yes, we will. No. I must not fall prey to the dark side again. My lust for vengeance must be curbed.
Yes. Say no to the dark side, but I will have you yet. Ha!
My Cathar blood seethes at the thought of that man still running free. He will pay for his crimes, though. He will most likely be following us. Me. If we could find him first.
Yeah, what do you want? You're...
How can I help? Then I suggest... What's going on?
Sith interdictor ship. They must have been waiting for us on the hyperspace route. We're caught in their tractor beam.
Do you recognize the ship?
It's the Leviathan. Saul Hrakert's vessel. My own mentor. Admiral Hrakert taught me everything I know about being a soldier. He was a legend in the Republic fleet, and a hero to me until he betrayed us. When the Sith attacked my homeworld, the Leviathan, which is Saul Hrakert's flagship, was at the head of the fleet. My family was destroyed that day, and my wife died in the Sith bombardment. I'm not gonna do anything stupid. I mean, I won't throw our lives away in some mad quest for vengeance, but if I get a chance to kill Saul during our escape, nobody better get in my way.
Talk of an escape is somewhat premature, don't you think? We don't even have a plan to get out of this mess yet.
I'll admit, it won't be easy. Saul's no fool, and he won't underestimate us either. You can count on plenty of guards watching every move we make.
Maybe Admiral Hrakert doesn't know how many of us there are on board. We all have special talents. Talents we could exploit so that one of us could stage a rescue. We just have to figure out who has the best chance to avoid capture so they can come and rescue us later. It's a long shot, but it's our only hope. The Admiral will be watching the three of us far too closely for any plot involving you, me, or Karth to succeed. It's going to be up to one of the others to get us out of this.
Well, if we're gonna pick someone to save our skins, we better do it quick. In another minute, we're gonna have Sith troops marching up our loading ramp.
Maybe I can goad the guards into making a mistake. If I get them mad enough, they might put me in a separate cell to punish me. With them focusing so much on you three, I might be able to sneak out of my cell and come rescue the rest of you. It's a risk we have to take, Big Z. I can slice my way free of any security cell. Don't worry, I can pull this off. I won't let you down. You'll see.
Hold on, they're dragging us into the docking bridge.
Bastila, Karth, and the crew have been taken prisoner as you ordered, Commander.
Excellent. Have you searched the ship thoroughly? Admiral Hrakert warned me to be on alert for any kind of treachery.
We found a young Twi'lek in the back. She's got quite the mouth on her. She swore at me and spit on my uniform. She tried to bite me through my armor, and you should hear what she said about my mother. Admiral Hrakert needs to teach her the proper respect for the Sith.
The Admiral doesn't have time to bother with some Twi'lek girl. Take her away to solitary confinement. I'll leave it up to you to teach her the proper respect for the Sith.
Karth, it has been far too long since we last spoke. I see the recent months have not been kind in your case. I barely recognized you.
But I recognize you, Saul. I see your face every night, even as I promise myself I will kill you for what you did to my homeworld.
Did you learn nothing in your time under me? As a soldier, you should understand that casualties were unavoidable. This was an act of war.
It was a cowardly act of betrayal. Your fleet bombed a civilian target into oblivion without warning or provocation, and the blood of those innocent people is on your hands.
In war, even the innocent must die. The Sith would not accept me until I proved I had truly turned my back on the Republic by bombing the planet.
My wife died in that attack, Saul. And for that, I swear I'll kill you.
You used to be a man of action, not of empty words. Cling to your lust for revenge if you must, but spare me your tired threats. I've heard them all before. You're an insignificant part of these events anyway. Lord Malak is far more interested in your Jedi companions. He has great plans for them.
We will never serve Malak or the dark side. The Sith will be destroyed, Admiral Kareth, as will you if you don't turn away from this path.
Your words are brave, Bastila, but the lure of the dark side is hard to resist. Or so I've been told. I wonder if your companion is as devoted to the light as you are. You're defiant. I'm certain Malak will find your loyalty to the Jedi amusing. The Dark Lord would probably reward me if I just killed you once and for all, but he may want to question you given the trouble you've caused him, and the history between you. You mean... Oh, this can't be true, can it? You really don't know what's going on here, do you? Well, I won't be the one to deprive Malak of the pleasure of telling you himself. The Dark Lord will no doubt torture you for information and for his own twisted pleasure. Eventually, you will tell him everything. The Sith can be very persuasive. However, Lord Malak is in another sector. It may be some time before he arrives, so I suppose I will have to fill in for him until then. Activate the torture fields. Enough. I don't want them to pass out before I question them. Malak will appreciate any information I can give him when he arrives.
Don't waste your breath, Saul. We won't answer any of your questions.
I'm sure you won't. However, we both know your friend's loyalties have proven in the past to be somewhat flexible. It is time to put your loyalty to the test. I doubt torturing you will gain me your true cooperation. Your will is too strong to be broken that way. However, even the strongest of heroes has trouble watching those they care about suffering. The interrogation will begin now. Each time you refuse to answer or give me a false answer, Bastila will suffer. You expect me to fall for such a transparent ploy? You travel halfway across the galaxy with someone and you expect me to believe you feel nothing for each other? I tire of these games. Now I want answers. On what planet is the Jedi Academy at which you were trained? Alderaan is nothing but a planet of artisans and philosophers. There is no training academy there. You must think this is a game. Very well, this is the price of your resistance. Enough! You see what happens when you try to defy me. This first question was a test. Obviously, Malak knew the Academy was on Dantooine, and it has since been destroyed by our fleet. Dantooine is an empty graveyard now. Nothing is there but a smoking ruin and the charred remains of your former masters. It doesn't matter whether you believe me or not. The fact remains that the Jedi on Dantooine have been eradicated, along with any hope of someone coming to rescue you. Now, tell me your mission. How were the Jedi planning on using you to stop Lord Malak and our Sith Armada?
Why? Why are you telling him this?
You should be grateful, Bastila. He is sparing you agony beyond comprehension.
Words that betray the Jedi Order bring me more pain than any torture ever could.
Tell me, how did you find out about the Star Forge?
No! How could you betray the Jedi like this?
I find your willingness to cooperate pleasing, though it seems your answers are quite upsetting to Bastila. Not to worry. We are almost finished here. The information you have given me has been most useful, but I fear our session is over. Lord Malak will want to continue with this line of questioning himself. I will leave you here in your cell with a small taste of the horrors you will suffer when Lord Malak arrives.
Don't try to move too quickly. You might not be fully recovered yet. Admiral Kareth had his guards continue to torture you even after you passed out.
They tortured all of us, though you got the worst of it by far. Saul wanted them to make us suffer. He's become some sort of sadistic monster.
The dark side has perverted him, Karth. Once you start down the tainted path, it leads you ever further into the depths of evil. I fear he is forever lost. Yes. I suppose you're correct. Sometimes it's easy to lose sight of that hope in the face of such unbridled cruelty. But you speak the truth. I suppose I'm taking the news of Dantooine's destruction quite hard. First Taurus, now the Academy. Is there no end to the killing? I'd like to believe that Saul was lying to us. But even as he said the words, I knew they were true. The Academy is gone. We should have felt a disturbance in the Force when the attack came. The fact that we did not is a bad sign. I fear the dark side is growing stronger, casting shadows our vision cannot pierce. I can only hope that some of the Jedi escaped. Rook, Vendar, Zar. I cannot imagine all of them being gone. In any case, we've lost our one place of refuge in the galaxy.
None of this will matter if we don't get out of this prison before Saul gets back. Saul mentioned that Lord Malak was on his way. I think the Admiral left to prepare for his arrival and to report the results of our interrogation.
I only wish you'd been able to resist the Admiral's questioning. I hope the information you revealed does not bring the entire galaxy under the dominion of the Sith.
I've known Admiral Kareth a long time, and I think you're right. The interrogation was a sham. Saul was toying with us. He didn't care what we told him. I think it was just an excuse to torture us before Malak arrived.
Did you feel that? A disturbance in the Force. The Admiral has sent his message. The Dark Lord knows we're here now. Malak is coming.
Well, then we better hope Mission busts us out of here before he arrives.
Come on, girlie. Into the cell. Let's go. I haven't got all day to waste on you. I need to get back to my post.
Quit crowding me. Sheesh. I've met Gamorreans who didn't smell as bad as you, Sith.
You think you're pretty funny, don't you? But you're only making things worse for yourself.
How come every time you open your mouth to talk, the scent of rancor dung comes out?
Maybe a little time in solitary confinement will teach you the proper respect for the Sith. Now get into that cell.
Who designed those Sith uniforms anyway? A blind Rhodian with a sick sense of humor?
Oh, that's funny. You should tell that one to the torturer when he comes to deal with you.
What? You're going to torture me?
No snappy comeback this time. The thought of torture scares you, hmm? Well, it should. The Sith have ways to inflict pain you can't even imagine. It may be a few hours before your torture begins. We're busy interrogating your friends right now. Hey, I know. You could use this time to think of witty ways to beg for mercy.
Or I could use the keycard I lifted from your pocket to slice into the security panel and get myself out of this cell. Piece of cake. I wonder when people will stop underestimating me.
baso, Gino Moli Tong hit wama aki inko tune. Potong hi wama ji aki diskadosoki kopa bono nakachu labora na winki chaskronki do patslimo chi itakanki channa kilikon. Nekawa dubaka pati ichuta yun patisa kimba Smilia chiwi aita ka chong chicha agi inko tune chunamu Smilia ki mulira kun king tong hit wama agi Achua pengti yun patisa di juba jikota na Chiwa aita ka kava
Gotcha.
Yo baso Gino molirani bu tong hit wama agi inko tune Potong hi wama ji aki inko tun tong pado kun nonek Chiwi aita diskadosoki kopa bono nakachu labora na winki smack toma
Gotcha. Simple. Ha! Yeah! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Yeah!
Bastila, Karth, and the crew have been taken prisoner as you ordered, Commander.
Excellent. Have you searched the ship thoroughly? Admiral Karth warned me to be on alert for any kind of treachery.
We found a young Twi'lek in the back. She's got quite the mouth on her. She tried to...
Karth, it has been far too long since we last spoke. I see the recent months for up-and-coming. Enough. I don't want them to pass out before I question them. Malik will appreciate any information I can give him when he arrives.
Don't waste your breath, Saul. We won't answer any of your questions.
I'm sure you won't. However, we both know your friend's loyalties have proven in the past to be somewhat flexible.